I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, December the 11th, brought to you in part by Zactran. Stress opens the gate for BRD. Slam it shut with Zactran. Remember to observe your 35-day withdrawal period after treatment. For more information, go to Zactran.com or visit with your BI representative. The vaccine was approved on Thursday there, and that's a major deal to try to move on past this COVID-19 thing. And whether you want to get in line to take the vaccine or not, now they're already saying that they're going to try to figure out ways to make you take it. Put an app on your phone or something that shows you've had it before they let you fly in a plane or go to certain events or something. So I guess that's kind of like putting an ear tag, one of them radio frequency ear tags in us, just to make sure that we can go here or there or kind of keep track of us. That makes me a little bit nervous, but nevertheless, the vaccine was approved, and it looked like we were going to get it approved, and that was kind of positive to many of your commodity markets. And maybe some of the funds think that cattle have more room to grow than some of the other commodities. But there was a lot more activity in our cattle futures markets on Thursday than what we've seen earlier in the week. You know, we mentioned earlier that open interest was down, trading activity was very slow, not a lot of things going on in your futures market, but we did have quite a bit on Thursday, and the futures market was strong. It was up quite a bit more than what it closed earlier in the day, but they were juking and jiving on it, and like I said, a lot of trading activity. Still working through this huge week of auction receipts. My gosh, just big sales everywhere you look. Big sales. Heard that Jim Akers commented on one of my posts that bluegrass locations in Kentucky going to have around 17,000 head for the week. Now that's in Kentucky, guys. I'm telling you what, there's a lot of cattle being sold all over this country. But you know, if more of us would fall calf, we could smooth that out a little bit. You know, I know that you guys have your spring calves and you keep them 6 months, and we've got genetics now that makes them big enough to where you really have to go into some type of a growing yard or into a feedlot with them, because it's the time of the year where we don't have a lot of places to turn them out, and we just don't have the infrastructure to handle this many calves at once. And I'd say the market did good this week to hold as well as it did, but just imagine if we could smooth out our supplies a little bit. It would be so much better, not only for our calf and yearling markets, but it would also be better whenever we turn those into beef. But let's talk about your futures market on Thursday. December live cattle futures up 55 cents at 107.92. February up 87 at 111.82. Going out from there, and they were up 42 to up 92. So positives all around on your live cattle pits. January feeder cattle up 57 cents at 137.60. March up 45 cents at 139.25. Going out from there, and they were up 20 cents to $1.17. So really positive day on cattle futures, although we didn't see huge gains there. But you know, considering our how weak our fat cattle market was this week, it's still a pretty good showing. And talk about the fat cattle trade. We had a little bit more cleanup trade on Thursday, and we haven't seen a whole lot of trade. They really need to buy a few more cattle this week. But with the slower rates that they're planning on doing during the Christmas holidays, they may not buy anymore. But if they don't, I think we could start out the first of the year pretty good, because they're going to be a little bit short bought. But so far for the week, we've only seen about 40,000 head trade in the 5-area feeding region, which is less than half of what they really need to trade. And we're starting to see these later cleanup trades, you know, right in there about where we sold. They were a little bit weakening there around Wednesday, Thursday with your fat cattle support on the board. We saw them trading back in there steady for the week, which is about $1.08 there. So we didn't see a whole lot of that confirmed, because I think it happened later on in the day, but we'll see that when it comes out on Friday. And likely they did trade more cattle than what we have confirmation on. But Iowa, about 1,600 sold on Thursday, confirmed. They're about 15,400 for the week. The sales on Thursday up there were pretty weak, from 103 to 104. Heard there was some 105 there late after the strong board showed, but that's pretty bad. And they're just taking advantage of those smaller farmer feeder outfits, and they they don't know how else to get any more, and how else do they get any more? I think more of them should throw in with some of those cooperative marketing outfits. Iowa Cattlemen's Association has a cooperative marketing group there. Producers of Omaha has a cooperative marketing group. You need to get in there. If you had to pay a little bit, it would sure be worth your time, and put a little more leverage in that country trade. Had a few dress sales in Iowa from 166 to 167, so we're sure lower for the week. Nebraska, about 4,000 head on Thursday, about 12,700 confirmed for the week. 106 to 107, and that's really about all they got live in Nebraska. A little bit of 108, and there may have been some more late that they didn't get quoted, but most of your trade was dressed 167 to 168, and that's $4 to $5 lower than last week, guys. That's kind of a tough week. Kansas didn't trade anything on Thursday, confirmed. Like I said, might have been some 108 cleanup deal there late, but Texas and Kansas haven't sold enough cattle to really amount to too much, and light enough. If they don't trade anymore, it would have yet tripped more triggers on that NCBA's 75% of a robust trade proposal there. But let's talk about your box beef cutout values. Just continuing lower, and I tell you what, it's no wonder the Packers were so hard to trade with this week. They are losing ground on the wholesale market that they get. In just a week on choice cuts, we've lost $25. That is a hunk now. That's a Corona type movement there in the market. When it shouldn't have been that sharp. But your choice cuts on Thursday afternoon, 214.59. That's down another 367, and like I said, $25 down compared to the same day of the week a week ago. Your select also down hard, down 318, 198.47, and it's down over $20 for the week in a week's time. Your slaughter, 474,000. That's 7,000 less than last week, 17,000 less than a week ago. Actual slaughter information coming on Thursday for the week ending November the 28th. Average on your choice steer carcass weights, 921 pounds, down another 2 pounds, and it's dropping a lot. Still 10 pounds over the same time a year ago, but it's dropping really fast, and set to drop quite a bit more between now and the first of next year. Talk about what else is going on. I talked to Trent Stewart on Thursday there, and he said he's got a big sale coming up at Central Oregon Livestock there at Madras, Oregon. Actually going to see him at a production sale up here close to Paris, Texas over the weekend. Then he's going back and got a big sale on Monday, 3,000 head for Central Oregon there, and that's a big sale in that part of the country. He's kind of having a wean calf special. One saving grace might be there, and you guys that are looking for him, he said he'd have 1,000 or more NHTC verified calves. So you guys that are looking for them, have a feeding program for those. They're kind of hard to find. Not all the sale barns are certified to have NHTC and keep the third-party verification, but they are there at Central Oregon. For you guys that are looking to background some cattle, even though we haven't had a lot of moisture way out west, but we got some in the forecast. If you want to get in on some of those premiums when you get them to a feeder weight, buy some of those verified, third-party verified NHTC calves, maintain the program on them, and then you're eligible for those premiums too. Pretty good deal. Also notice that Jim Herzog at Mocan Livestock in Butler, Missouri, going to have 1,100 cows on Saturday. So if you're interested in some cows this Saturday, check out Mocan Livestock Market there in Butler. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market. Your real-time index on DB auction late in the day on Thursday sitting at 135.92, up 11 cents. And your big sales on Thursday. Pratt, winter livestock at Pratt, 5,000 head there, and they had one of the best sales that I've seen for quite a while. I tell you what, they had top calf quotes out of there and top bigger feeding type calf quotes, but it was an impressive sale. I'm going to tell you the trend first. Feeder steers and Pratt $2 to $5 lower, and that was for your bigger calves going up into your lighter weight feeders. That seemed like kind of a big trend there, which you know, it's hard to argue. I wasn't there, but said that lighter weight steer calves were $4 to $10 higher, and the market sure looked that much on those. Feeder heifers, they called steady heifer calves, about $4 lower there. But check out some of the quotes that they had there. 91 head of 467 pound steers. Now you can sure see that on your light fours, but on your heavy 4-weight steers, they haven't been getting this close to $2, but they had 91 of them, average 467 at 199.75. That is a top quote right there, and somebody must have some wheat pasture. How about 84 head of big feeding type calves weighing 695 at $156? That's a big quote. Let's go to north central Kansas. How about Farmers and Ranchers Livestock in Salina, Kansas? 3,400 head there. Steers, in most of your middle type steer, where your biggest volume is, your middle weight steer calves there, steady to $8 lower, but those weighing over 900 pounds that have a chance to make the April board, $2 to $3 higher. And if you look at that, they must have included these big 8 weights. 63 head, 884 pound feeding steers in Salina bring $142. Now they called the heifer calves for the most part $1 to $7 lower, but the little peewee heifers and the 8 to 900 pound heifers $2 to $5 higher. Best sales quotes that I saw anywhere was out of Ogallala Livestock, Ogallala, Nebraska. They had 5,900 head there and got done in good time. Big long strings, reputation deals all day, and they called those cattle there at Ogallala from a strong steady up to as much as $9 higher. I looked at the automated report and couldn't really argue with that. That's kind of the way it was, just big quotes. But I'm going to give you, show you this report and give you some big quotes out of the best tested weights. About 575 head of the 4-weight steers, average 457 at 184.96 on the average of all of them. How about 1,040 head of 5-weight steers, average 555 at 166.79. And then nearly 800 head of the 6-weight steer calves, average 646 at 156.51. A couple of individual quotes out of there on steers. How about 64 head of 507 pound steers, 190, and 55 head of 708 pound big feeding calves there, steer calves at 159. Wow. How about some heifer quotes out of Ogallala? 1,135 head of the 4-weight heifers, average 456 at 175.27. And I noticed that they had several heifers sold, so I didn't look, at least for this round, that they had a lot of heifers kept back out of the guys that sold on Thursday, because a lot of heifer calves in the consignments there. 619 head of the 5-weight heifer calves, average 541 at 153.74, and then over 500 head of the 6-weight heifers, average 665 at 139.59. But the best quote that I saw anywhere also come out of Ogallala, and your Zach Tran top quote for the day: 66 head, 828 pound feeding steers in Ogallala bring $146. And that's your feeder flash for Friday.